Welcome back to the garden, and yet I found myself saying another beautiful sunny day. Now, look at this little lot. What I had in here previously was a lavender bush that ran about 5 metres, was probably about 15-year-old, and it, well, you can see what it was like. There's a bit of it still left. The majority of it had just dried out and gone about 1.5 metres high. So my plan was just to lift it and put paving slabs down on the edge of here and put some pots on. But when I've actually started weeding it, this soil is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's too good to waste. So I thought what I would do is I would dig this all out, weed it right away along, and then plant in it. I thought I'd just let you have a look before I get started. Now, when I was digging, I did find a bit of the old bush still in. You can see the size of it there. Now I'm keeping that in as kind of to honour what was there before. And who knows, I might be able to get a few cuttings from it this year. It's quite a thick stem and I have cut a lot of it back. But I'll give it a good water and I'll keep my eye on some of the new growth. And if I can, I'll get some shoots off. And oh look, there is still new growth. So we'll get a few bits off and we'll plant that on this year. So I decided that I would stay with the original plan of putting down the paving slabs from the front, because after all I have to have somewhere to put them. So you can see I've dug it all out now. I've weeded out as much of that nettle as I can get out, and now the slabs are coming in, so I'll get a few more in and then let you have a look. Now some of the findings are 2 of the nicest little toads I've ever seen and the biggest spider ever. But I'll let them go, and I'll put a little pond in shortly as well. Well, it'll be a bucket sunk in the ground, but that'll do quite nicely for that little toad, I'm sure. Well, here you can see we're more or less done. The path's a bit shugly because the stonework on the edge is at 2 different levels, but I'm not going to panic about that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this out of the way. That's a post hammer, by the way. Very heavy but perfect for putting in big posts. Not so good on your back though. So anyway, I've got this net that I was bought. The very debonair Debbie bought it for me, and it's perfect for getting the runner beans to grow up. And I am going to be planting French climbing beans up here, so I really do need to get this in. Now I've also got this marvellous honeysuckle that's doing very well up here too, but it keeps wanting to cuddle me so much, you know. So we'll get this in, and then the beans have got somewhere to climb. Now at the bottom I've got a bit of old trellis work, so the trellis is all right for it to grow on. You know, it can climb up there, no trouble at all. Now this is sisal string, which means it's probably only going to last the one year, and then it'll be gone. And then what I tend to do with stuff like that is I throw it into the compost, and it just composts down. Now you remember me saying, look at this, it's like I could make a hammock out of it. Well, that's not very long, is it? My goodness me, I'll need a bit more net than that, I think. But I've got another big net tucked away, I can use a bit of that. Now you remember me talking about how there used to be beautiful lavender here. Well, there's one left, here it is. So I felt guilty by taking out all the lavender. So my intention is to take some clippings from this year. Now I've done lavender before and it wasn't too difficult. And I've got all this new growth that's coming up lovely. So I'll probably leave it another couple of weeks and then check it out and take some clippings. But I'll show you how I do it so you can do it too. Now there we go. I mean, that's all right if I put it right down like that. The bottom bit, what you can see here, by the way, are not runners. These are broad beans I've been putting in. I brought these on in the greenhouse and they're absolutely ideal. So all I've got to do to plant these things is, you can remember, when did we plant those? Middle of Feb. So middle of Feb to now, and they've grown like this, 2 in each pot. You can always allow that one of the beans might not grow And in 2 of the pots, I was right. So if I'd only put 1 bean in each of those pots, I wouldn't have any beans back. But I'm getting 2 out of most of them. So I'm putting these in now, nice and deep. Now you'll see the roots, they're all kind of woundy together. Well, I'm just going to open them up a little bit, because in here, this old fish box, they've got plenty of space to grow. And all I'm going to do is put them in and firm them above the existing level of soil. So if that's the existing level of soil, I've gone about that high. And the reason for that is just to give them a bit more stability, a bit more support. Don't forget, I know I harp on all the time, but it's really myself I'm telling. So what I'll do now is I'll bring up some of these other pots that I've got on this lower level, and I'll fit them in between. Now I've got some runner beans just planted out. No, I haven't. I've got some sown. And as soon as they get some height on them, I'll bring them and plant them out in these big tubs here. So the intention is I'll try and get maybe 3 or 4 in each of these containers, and then I'll try and fill that wall with climbing French runner beans, which are absolutely beautiful. I tend to leave them until they go to seed. The pod fills right up, and then the beans go hard, and then I leave them till the bean pod starts to dry. Then I take them off and I dry them on a tray, put them away for the winter for stews and curries and soups. Absolutely marvellous. You can make like bean patty out of them with garlic and a little bit of mayo. I'm salivating just thinking about it. So on the top up here, I'm going to bring in the likes of more of this lovely lavender, and I've got some rosemary to come around here. So pretty much most of what's on this bottom can come up to this top shelf. That'll fill in the gaps and it'll look lovely. The idea then is I can clear all of the weed off the bottom one, and some of the fruit bushes that are up against the fence, the likes of the gooseberries or maybe all the black currants, I can move them up to this higher level. Now the intention then is I've kind of got level 1, level 2, level 3, and then I've got stuff on the ground over there. So you might remember I've got some apple trees over there growing along the side of the fence, and I've got a lot of gooseberries. Now I'll probably leave the gooseberries over there because they're quite lethal, and I can trim them back and just grow them along the fence. Also, they seem to like it over there, so if it's not broken, don't fix it. On this lower shelf here, I put a lot of woven plastic last year because this was absolutely full of weeds, nettles and thistles that were grown out of the stonework. It was dreadful. So I literally just cut the top off it and then covered it with a black mulch plastic, and then I've had pots on it right the way through, well, about the last 12 to 18 months. I think everything I wanted rid of has gone now. So what I'm going to do to sort it out is just start to lift some of these things. I'm going to lift some of these big pots up onto here, and then I can work out what I want and where I want it. The one thing that I know I do want up here is I want to use the height of this trellis here to grow some beans on, and I want to replace some of the lavender that I took out with pot lavender. Now, you might think it's a bit naff, but the reason I want to do that is because the bees come here every year for this lavender. So in their collective consciousness, they know there's lavender here. And if they come and I've got none here, they'll be disappointed. I'll never hear the end of it. So anyway, I'm going to put some of these up. Now, some of these are actually clippings that I took from this original one about 4 years ago. Well, maybe 3 years ago. But they look quite nice. But the pots themselves, they're filled with all sorts of rubbish. There's everything that's been grown in here for the last few years. I've just kind of left it. So I've got soldiers' buttons, and I've got nettle and thistle and all sorts of things. I'm just going to do a quick tidy up on them. I can pop some other herbs and things in the likes of these big ones, because they are big, heavy pots, these things. Right, look at that one is. So, I need a bit of a stone to put underneath that one, just to level it off. We'll sort that one out later. The extra pots, I can use them as well. Now this looks like a little bit of Lunaria that's in here, which is Lunaria's Honesty. Yeah, no, that's not me telling the truth. It is. It's called Honesty, the common name. Its proper name's Lunaria, and I always remember it because when you peel the Honesty, you get like a little paper moon, and that's the Luna. That's how I remember it. Now some of these have got plants in them, and a lot of them just haven't. But for now, we're going to get them up and then we'll sort them out later. Does anybody know what this stuff is? Let me know. I think we need that one over there. Oh, I've got lavender there. I'll put this one over here. Now I know you'd be looking at these even from a distance and going, well, that's just a weed. Well, it probably is. And like I say, I'm going to sort these out later when I sort out the actual number of pots that I've got and the number of pots that I need. But I think for now, that's probably okay. Oh, I know what you're looking at. You're looking at this. On your node, light shade, lampshade, glass one. Quite a nice one too, but I was always banging my head on it. So what I did was I took it off and I had it hanging up here. And when I had crusts of bread and stuff, I would just put them in. And then I would get the thrushes and I'd get all sorts of the robins. They'd all come in there and have a bit of a peck. Then during the winter, I stick a couple of grease balls in there. So I'm not going to throw that away because it gets well used. Hopefully you can see that. It doesn't look too bad, does it? I've put the old pots there and I'll refresh them with new compost shortly and maybe even some new plants in there. And what I've effectively done is take a big nettly weed area that I was using the nettles for my liquid fertiliser, but I've got more nettles and I've created another little food area. Food on the wall, top level, lower level and ground level. 4 levels of food. Now, as with anything, when you're moving it around, make sure you've turned the water on first. Now, as with anything when you move it around, make sure you give it a good drink. The reason for that is plants can get stressed out, you know, if you disturb them too much. Even sometimes just moving the location on them. You know, you might have had it in a nice sort of sheltered area. It's been up against a warm wall. It's grown with lots of humidity around it. Then you go and put it out in an open air space and suddenly it's wind blasted. And it's like, oh no, put me socks on, give us a drink, I'll feel better later. It's funny, we all feel better after a bit of a drink. Wink, wink. We'll just give this all a bit of a drink now. And then later on tonight when the sun sets, I'll give it a really good drink. There we go. That's coming on okay, pretty happy with that. Anyway, see, I've got another one of my lovely apple trees here. You see this one? It's absolute beauty. I stuck it in this plastic tub just somewhere to put it for a few months, and I have a feeling it's gone out the bottom and straight down into the bed. But whatever it is, it gives me amazing apples. Really good apples each year. I think this is its 3rd year in this place. Might be the 2nd fruiting year. But it certainly does well. It seems to like it. You might remember the overall plan for this section of the garden was to make it an orchard, a fruit orchard. And in this fruit orchard, I plan to have, eventually, on this upper level, I'll have the likes of the raspberries, all in pots, mind you. I'll have the raspberries and I'll have some thornless blackberry. And then both of them will get trained up the trellis here. On this level here, I'll be bringing over the black currant, red currant and white currant, josta berry. They'll all come in along here. And that leaves against the fence that I've got in now, I've got 2 apple trees in there and I've tried to espalier them. Do you remember espalier? Wires nailed to the fence and you try and grow it along the wires. Now thankfully, I've got a nephew and he's an excellent gardener. I mean, he's a real gardener, not like me. I'm a bit of a bodger. He knows the Latin name of plants. I mean, who would guess? But anyway, he's teaching me how I should be actually trimming them back, how I should prune them, how I should look after them. He knows his business. So again, I've had a year and a half with them in there. No, 2.5 years, 1 year fruiting on them. And on the fence in between them, I've got clematis growing. So the idea is I'll put some more fruit trees along the fence and some more fruit bushes along here. And we should have a really nice little fruit garden by the end of the year. We'll get some fruit out of this year and we'll get more next year. And the reason I'm doing that is I went and had a look at the price in the supermarkets of fresh fruit. Dream on! I mean, they're wanting like £2 for 4 apples. This little tree here gave me about 100 apples this year. Same with these. They were the sweetest you've ever tasted. And to keep them, I know you're thinking, you can't keep them, you'll eat them all and get them all at once. Well, what I do is I clean them off, I pick them on a nice dry day, and then I wrap them in newspaper and I put them in a cardboard box. And then they stay in a cool place and they'll last 4, 5, 6 months in there. Once a month, I'll go and have a look and make sure there's nothing bruised or rotten, and wrap them up again and put them back down. And they just seem to go on forever. And that's what my intention is, to grow as much food as I can in this tiny little garden. I mean, this garden, I know it might look big with a magic lens on my phone there, but these beds are only 1 paving slab wide. And I don't mean long ways, I mean width ways. So the beds themselves, they're not even 2 foot. So you've got 2 foot there, 2 foot there, and about 18 inches over there. I think that should do for now. This is the most beautiful oregano. Oh, that smell. Oh, I don't know if you've ever smelt fresh oregano. Not the dried stuff you get in packets, or even the wet stuff you get in packets. I mean, stuff that's growing. When you get it and you just grab it, just squeeze it a bit. Oh, wow. I can't wait to get some of that in me cooking. Now, if you've enjoyed having a little look at what I'm doing here with old boxes and tubs and beer barrels and bits of old net and all this sort of stuff, and this is right up your street, then can I recommend my next video that's going to pop up here? I think you'll enjoy it. Let me know, and don't forget, I'm always open to feedback. As long as it's good, mind. Give me a shout. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.